Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Memory Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you an NFL Week 9 preview between the Cleveland Browns and the Houston Texans. Now let's look at some keys to victories for both teams. Let's start with the Browns on offense. What they have to do coming in this week against the Houston Texans, you see right there, get the tight ends involved. There are two very good tight ends in Watson and Evan Moore. Get these guys involved. Force those linebackers of the Houston Texans to cover. That's the advantage of playing a team that runs a 3-4 defense. You can spread these guys out and have some success throwing the football. So look for the Browns passing attack to probably get on track this week against the Houston Texans. But the biggest issue they have to do is find some way to run the football, because if you don't have balance against a team like the Texans, all the Texans will do is tee off on the quarterback. But you look at the ground game, somebody has to step up back there in the backfield. If they don't have balance, it could be a long day for the Browns offense. Now, the Browns' defensive game plan against the Houston Texans has to go with the outside linebackers versus the tackles and tight ends in the running game versus the Texans. These guys have to seal the edge and force those inside backers like DeQuell Jackson to come up and stop the run, and the field guys to come up and make tackles. Because if the outside linebackers get reached in that ground game, it could be a long day for the Browns trying to stop the run. But they have talent in the secondary, so they match up well with the Texans wide receivers. But I look at the outside linebackers being the biggest factor in this week's game. Now let's look at the Houston Texans offensive keys to victory. What they can do coming in against the Browns, we've mentioned it before, attack the outside linebackers. We always talk about that, but this is a team that does a great job of putting pressure on opposing teams' outside linebackers. If they're not stout at the point of attack, the Texans can run all day. And now in the passing game, you look at what they do well. They operate well off play action. They get everyone involved. A lot of intermediate routes, your digs, your crossing routes, they do a great job of that, and they should have some similar success against the Browns. What that does is back up those linebackers, and now they'll be able to run effectively off tackle. Now you look at the defensive side of the football. It's important for the Texans to come in and contain Colt McCoy. McCoy is one of the more athletic quarterbacks in the league and does a great job of extending plays with his legs. And if the Texans allow him to do that, he can do a lot of damage to what the Texans want to do defensively. Also, it's important that they set the tone early defensively, especially playing at home, because the quiet is kept. The Jaguars were in that ball game. Had they had a better quarterback, they probably could have won. Colt McCoy is a lot better than Blaine Gabbert. So you look at this game coming in, Texans have to really set the tone defensively. You see right here, big play against the Colts and special teams. They may need some of that against the Browns. I would look for the Texans to come in and stay aggressive as far as like playing contain, keep McCoy in the pocket, and they can have some success. I'm going with the Texans in this game. I like the offensive firepower, and if this happens to get into a shootout, you got to go with the gunslinger and Matt Schaub and that offense of the Houston Texans being able to control the clock with the ground game. For more NFL previews, visit footballgameplan.com/NFL or visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/footballgameplan. Now listen to the Football Game Plan radio show, which airs Saturdays 11 a.m. Eastern Time at blogtalkradio.com/footballgameplan.